Tom Brady wasn't supposed to be the greatest football player of all time.
It's Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
He wasn't even supposed to be good. In high school, he rode the bench. In college, he was an afterthought. In the 2000 NFL Draft, he was picked 199th overall, and 6 quarterbacks went ahead of him. No team thought he'd amount to anything, but 23 years later, Tom Brady walked away from the game with 7 Super Bowl rings, 5 Super Bowl MVPs, and just about every major quarterback record that exists. So how did a lanky, slow-footed kid from San Mateo, California become the most accomplished quarterback in NFL history? Let's break it down.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
It starts with this. He was obsessed. Obsessed with preparation. Obsessed with winning. Obsessed with being better than everyone else every single day. In high school, Brady almost quit football. He was stuck behind another quarterback who didn't even go on to play in college. When he finally started, he wasn't even the best quarterback in his league. But what he did have was an insane work ethic. He studied film, threw every day, and basically lived in the weight room. By the time he was a senior, he had solid numbers, but not superstar numbers. Baseball scouts loved him more than football scouts did. The Montreal Expos even drafted him as a catcher, offering him a real contract. But Brady passed on a guaranteed career in baseball to chase a dream that nobody believed in but him. That dream? Playing quarterback at a Division I football school. The problem was, no one wanted him. UCLA ghosted him. USC said no. Brady sent out tapes to over 100 colleges himself before Michigan finally gave him a shot. But even at Michigan, it wasn't easy. He arrived as the 7th quarterback on the depth chart. For 2 years, he barely touched the field. Other guys kept getting chances ahead of him, including Drew Henson, a hotshot recruit who was supposed to be the future. But Brady didn't complain. He didn't transfer. He just kept working. By the time he became Michigan's starter, he was rock solid. He won 20 games in 2 seasons, led 10 game-winning drives, and ended his college career with a win in the Orange Bowl. But when draft day came, the NFL didn't care. They looked at his 40-yard dash time, his scrawny frame, and his average arm strength, and they passed. 6 quarterbacks were drafted before him. Some didn't even last 2 seasons. And then finally, the New England Patriots took a chance in the 6th round. Pick 199. Most people forget 6th-round picks. Brady made sure no one would ignore him. He started as a backup to Drew Bledsoe, the face of the franchise. Then came week 2 of the 2001 season. The Patriots didn't just stay afloat, they took off. They went 11-3 with Brady under center, made the playoffs, and then shocked the world by winning the Super Bowl against the heavily favored Rams. Brady, in his first year as a starter, was already a champion. It wasn't a coincidence either. By 2004, Brady had 3 rings. He was undefeated in the playoffs. He had built a dynasty, but the doubters still weren't sold. They said he was just a product of Bill Belichick's system, a game manager, a guy who didn't make mistakes, sure, but not someone who could carry a team. Then 2007 happened. Brady finally got elite weapons, most notably Randy Moss, who was one of the most gifted receivers in NFL history. The chemistry between them was instant. That season, Brady threw 50 touchdown passes, which was an NFL record at the time, and Moss caught 23 of them, which was also an NFL record. Wes Welker, his new slot receiver, added 112 catches. The offense was so efficient and explosive that it felt like a video game. Teams couldn't keep up. The Patriots didn't just win, they dismantled opponents. They finished the regular season 16-0, the first team in NFL history to do that in a 16-game schedule. Brady was unanimously named MVP. He looked unstoppable. But despite all the records and accolades, the season ended in heartbreak. In Super Bowl 42, the undefeated Patriots were shocked by the New York Giants. A late touchdown and a miraculous helmet catch by David Tyree crushed the perfect season. Still, everything changed that year. The way people viewed Brady shifted. He was no longer just the clutch guy who could win close games. He was now the guy who could put up historic numbers. He could sling it like Manning, throw bombs like Favre, and still managed the game like no one else. He wasn't just a winner anymore. He was elite. He was terrifying. Then came the 2010s. What makes this part of his career so insane is that most quarterbacks are winding down in their 30s. Not Brady. He got better. He adapted as the game changed. When the league tilted toward high-volume passing, Brady evolved with it. When his longtime targets left or retired, he built new chemistry with new guys, whether it was Julian Edelman, Rob Gronkowski, or Danny Amendola. He threw short when he had to, took deep shots when he could, and always took care of the ball. From 2010 to 2015, he put up elite numbers every single season, while keeping the Patriots among the most feared teams in the league. All of that built up to 2016, which was one of the most dramatic seasons of his career. That year, he served a 4-game suspension for the Deflategate scandal, a controversy that many still believe was exaggerated. But Brady didn't sit around. He trained like a man possessed. And when he came back in Week 5, he looked like a man on a mission. He shredded defenses all season and took the Patriots to yet another Super Bowl, this time Super Bowl 51. What followed was the most iconic comeback in NFL history, down 28-3 to the Atlanta Falcons late in the third quarter. It looked over. But not for Brady. He remained calm. Possession after possession, he brought New England back. He finished the game with a Super Bowl record 466 yards and led the Patriots to the 31 unanswered points, winning the game in overtime. That game didn't just cement Brady's legacy. It is carved in stone, and most players, they'd walk off into the sunset after that, right off on top, but not Brady. 2 years later, he was back again. In 2018, he led the Patriots to another Super Bowl win, this time against the Rams in a hard-fought defensive battle that ended 13-3. It wasn't pretty, but once again, Brady found a way. That was ring number 6. And then, after 2 decades in New England, he made a move no one thought he'd make. He left. At 43 years old, Tom Brady signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers team that hadn't even made the playoffs in 13 years. 1 season later, he had them hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. Different team, different coach, different system, same result. He beat Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Patrick Mahomes in the same playoff run. At 43 years old, on a new team, in a pandemic-affected season. That wasn't supposed to happen, and even beyond the rings, the numbers are wild. Brady threw for over 89,000 yards in his career. That's the most ever. He had 649 touchdown passes. That's also the most ever. He led the NFL in passing yards in his 40s. He played in 10 Super Bowls. That's more than 28 entire franchises. He has more playoff wins, 35, than most quarterbacks have wins in their entire career. He engineered 14 game-winning drives in the playoffs alone. He went to the AFC Championship game 13 times. That's basically every other year of his career. But here's the thing, Brady's greatness wasn't just about numbers. It was about mentality, control, leadership, grit. He wasn't the fastest. He wasn't the strongest. He didn't have a rocket arm. What he had was unmatched preparation, mental toughness, and the ability to rise when everything was on the line. There was never a moment too big for him. He was never rattled. He was never unprepared. And he was never satisfied. That's what made him different. Tom Brady played 23 seasons. In that time, he had multiple Hall of Fame-worthy careers, and he never let go of that underdog mindset. From being the backup in high school to being the greatest player ever, he never forgot what it felt like to be doubted. That's what kept him sharp. So how good was Tom Brady actually? He was everything they said he wasn't, and more. He was the ultimate competitor, the ultimate teammate, the ultimate quarterback. And if you're trying to measure greatness, not just stats or rings, but leadership, clutch moments, consistency, adaptability, and longevity, there's no debate. Tom Brady isn't just the greatest quarterback of all time. He's the greatest football player of all time.